So it's with about 11 hours left in 2010. That's one of my reference clocks. I thought I'd give people a state of my absurd lab since a couple of people have asked. So, starting at the top of the rack, we have a Juniper M5. It's a 4 gigabit basically hardware router. Currently loaded in there. Dual port OC3 ATM, quad port OC3 SONET, packet over SONET, quad port fast Ethernet, and a internal tunnel PIC. Next down we have Juniper EX4200 series switch. That's a 48 port gig switch with an uplink module there, and the uplink module is 4x1 gig, or in this case 4x1 gig SFP, 2x10 gig XFP, or in this case it's the combo, which is 4 SFP or 2 SFP plus for 10 gig. Mine's currently configured in the 10 gig mode, although I'm not using any of the ports at the moment. Next down is a pair of Juniper SRX100s. These are not bad little units, but they limit you in that you can't do MPLS work with them just because of MTU limitations. Next, the CPE. We have on top a Cisco 827, which is ADSL router, then a Cisco 803 ISDN router. Both are basically voice terminations, as well as providing Ethernet. Then there is Cisco 1721, old VPN router, and an 1841. The 1841s are excellent termination router, excellent lab routers if you have a source for them, although do try and get the newer ones which have rack mount. In the 1700 line, the 1760 is particularly nice because it's rack mount and also does voice. Next we have the Cisco switch stack, starting at the top of 3550, a 2960, a 2950, then an old 2900. What I'm obviously missing here is a 3560 or 3750 for use with CCNP level study. That's going to come at some point. Next, we have the cable mesh that is the terminal serving router, or the head router. This is a 2621XM with a NM32 async, 32 port async serial. The dual fast Ethernets, one goes up to my core network in the house, the other goes down to a general subnet for the lab. Next we have a Cisco 3640, which has an 8-port sync serial module and serves as a frame relay switch, as well as doing miscellaneous other duties like some of the MPLS stuff. The major downside of that sync serial module is it only does 128k per port, and 128k per port is not too much. It's not really a problem in the lab, but it would be annoying. Next down we have the pair of Cisco 7200s. Until this week these were identical. Top left module, quad sync serial, top right module, HSSI, high speed serial. Connected with a loop back to the other one for 50 megabit link. Middle left is a single mode SONET, packet over SONET module. Of course you'll notice I've got multi-mode cable plugged in. That's an attempt to use an old trick where short runs of single mode links can be run over multi-mode. It'll do absolute horrific things to signal noise ratios. But in my case I was trying to prevent receiver overload. It just didn't work. Next down is the NM switch, the switch module, PA switch module. 2 fast Ethernet, 14 Ethernet, 2 fast Ethernet and 12 normal Ethernet. This is okay. It's got enough limitations that you probably actually don't want to buy it if it costs you much. So, yeah. Lastly, the I/O module, and at the bottom we have the second unit with an I/O module with fast Ethernet, which was a replacement because somehow I managed to kill the I/O module when I racked it. And I have no idea how you kill an I/O module. They're so damn simple. But somehow I killed the environmental sensors on it. So that is a fairly complete overview of the rack as it stands in 2010, after 6 months of work.